I'm like, who? She goes, me. I'm like, first of all, ma'am, I don't know you. This is no storytelling. I ain't got nothing to tell you. We're not supposed to conversating. We're not best friends. So what am I supposed to tell you?
Some people, they may envy you, follow you on Insta just to pre you. The way they go chat rubbish, the way they go spoil your name behind you. You buy one thing, they go on buy two. Always making sure.
Hey guys, it's your girl Grace. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, of course, welcome to my channel. I don't know if you guys can hear that annoying sound outside. For some reason, it is 10:02 in the morning, and of course they decide to be cutting the grass and blowing the goddamn leaves, even though there's none outside. But I'm here with a story time. I haven't done a story time in a minute, I think, like maybe a week or two now, but I've been wanting to do the story time for the longest time ever, and I don't know what relapsed my memory for me to remember this morning that this story time had to be filmed, okay? But here I am with the story time, so I hope you guys do enjoy this story time. Okay, so this story time is going to be about my driving test, my physical driving test to get my license to be able to drive. I don't know why I've been itching to do the story time. I was just so irritated about what happened and how it had happened, okay? So pretty much what happened was me personally growing through the ages of growing, I didn't want to drive. I just felt like driving was probably it's probably the most responsible thing in the world. You're responsible for yourself, of course. You're responsible for the people in your car, and my nigga, you're responsible for the motherfuckers on the road. Even if they ain't driving right, you still responsible for them. So driving to me was just not something I wanted to do, not something I really gave a fuck about. Like, it was not a priority. Just driving was just not a priority to me. Like, you get what I mean? I just didn't care for it. So when I turned 18 or 19, I believe, I went and I did my driving test to have my G1. So I don't know if this is only in Ontario or all over Canada, but we have three states of driving: G1, G2, and a G. Your G1 is your written test, your G2 is your driving test, and then your G is being able to drive on the highway by yourself, or yeah, being able to drive highway, interstate, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it. So when I was 19 or 18, like I was saying, I applied for my G1. Literally didn't study for it, but I passed because it was common sense. Like, what do you do at a stoplight? You stop. Like, the fuck? What do you do when the sign has a little arrow going that way? It means no turning. I mean, with the sign on top of it, it means no turning. What do you do when the thing says P10 to 7 or P10 to 12? It means you can park here between 10 to 7 or 10 to 12. Like, you guys get that? It's common sense. So after that, okay, that was the step one. Okay, passed my G1. Okay, cool. But I'm relaxed. I'm like, all right. So whenever I'm ready to drive, I'm gonna go do my G2. I'm gonna get my license and I'm gonna start driving. But it was not a priority. I went to school, and when I was in the States, I drove once, and it was my friend's car, and I crashed his car, which I'll be doing a story time about that very, very soon. I literally crashed the man's 2016 Camaro. Like, y'all just have to wait for that story time. So after that, driving, I was still panicking to drive. Like, I didn't want to drive because for me, it's just whenever I get the hands of a steering wheel, I start to panic. Like, I start having little panic attack. Like, I start freaking out. And to me, it's just weird. So I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'm gonna let my panicky self just get over it. And lately, I've been working a lot, and I'm like, okay, I'm working. I'm always having to wake up so early to get to work because my workplace is 2 hours bus ride from my house. I ain't got time for that. I have to wake up 4 hours before work to get ready and then to travel to work. Like, that's just too much. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go do my driving test, get my G2, get a car, and then start driving, so I don't have to complain. I don't need to hit up my friends to be driving me whenever we need to go out. I could just be like, see you there in 10, score myself there, and let's get it popping. So I decided I'm gonna go do my G2 test, and I decided to start taking driving lessons. My driving instructor was actually so cool. He was probably the most nicest but genuine person I've ever met, but he was still stush. Like, his attitude sometimes just makes me just want to crank him and just slam his head in front of the damn steering wheel. But that's a whole different story. So I started taking driving lessons, whatever. I took driving lessons from, I think, October, ending of October to mid-December. And then just a week before Christmas, I went to go do my driving test. My first time doing my driving test, I did my driving test twice because I failed the first time. The first time I did my driving test, I went to another town or a city like an hour away from Toronto. It's called Guelph. This day it was snowing. There was a snowstorm the night before, so of course there was just snow on the floor, icy floor, whatever. So me thinking that is gonna make, like, you know, the driving instructor take it easy on me, I was nervous. Like, I have this character trait where I always have the mindset, if I tell myself I'm gonna fail something, you better believe I'm gonna fail something. And I kept telling myself that morning, I'm gonna fail this driving test, I'm gonna fail this driving test, I'm gonna fail this driving test, but I don't know what was gonna make me fail. Everything I was doing was right. Got in the car, the lady checked the brake lights, checked the signals, and everything popping. She got in the car, she had asked me a couple of questions, because I wear glasses. I wear glasses on a daily, but lately I've been wearing contacts. So I wear glasses, and the day of my, I wear glasses, and here and often there I wear contacts. I don't like wearing my glasses anymore, just because like when I have a full face, like there's no point, and I can never blink because my lashes are always too long. So the day of my exam, I was not wearing my glasses, and I wasn't wearing contacts. So the lady got in the car, and she asked me, she said, I see here that you wear glasses, you have contacts on, and I swear to God, I forgot my glasses, so I panicked, and I said yes. I felt like that was step one of God punishing me for lying. Step two, we got in the car, start the car. I started getting jifty, like I was nervous. I turned out of the parking lot, got on the road. She first told me to make a left turn. We're driving. The first stoplight we hit, stop. Everything was popping, you know? Okay, I'm like, okay, this is light work. I'm relaxed, everything, you know, calm down, cool down, you know, pop in, whatever. We start driving, and this lady tells me to like turn into like a neighborhood. Okay, so with driving, you have to keep in mind of everything on the road. The signs, the lights, the people on the road, the people in your car, because, you know, you could get really cheesy and just open the door and just push them out of the car, but you get what I mean. So you just have to be mindful of anything around you. So we get into this neighborhood. It has like a little sign with a school kid and a mom and a school kid, of course, holding a backpack. And that sign, I'll probably find it and put it somewhere here. That sign means it's a school zone, so you have to go by like a certain speed limit, which I believe is 25 in Ontario. I believe it's 25. That's the speed limit for that, whatever. So the lady tells me to pull up and parallel park. Like, okay, like light work, reverse, you see the little cone, or you see the first car light on the triangle, you move back. So I pulled up, reversed, see the little backlight, whatever thingy in the little triangle at the back mirror, steered my wheel. You already know, if you already know how to parallel park, it's common sense, I don't have to explain it. So I parallel park, like stop the car, put the car on parking. And the lady was like, okay, good. Now come out the parallel park. I don't know if the lady was blind or she didn't see me literally take my head and look on my left side, looked on my right side, look at the back window to see if any fucking car was coming. And I pulled out. And this woman just grabs the wheel. And I'm like, I looked at her like, what are you doing? She goes, you almost hit the car on your left. And I'm like, there is no car on my left. And the car on my left is all the way parked down there. And I am still coming out. And she goes, and you forgot to turn on your signal. I'm like, my signal is on. She goes, okay, proceed. So I start driving, whatever. Guys, keep in mind, I did say there was a snowstorm the night before. So the floor is very, very like icy, like a slushy on the road. And in Canada, like, our winter is not a joke. Like, it's no joke. It's like winter in Colorado. Like, it's not a fucking joke. So we're driving. We got to the stoplight, and I'm making a left. So, mind you, there is traffic. In this traffic, and there is a stoplight, I cannot turn, because if I turn, I'm either gonna die, she's gonna die, and the person in front of us is gonna die. So we're all pretty much gonna fucking die. So I'm like, I can't turn, and I have my blinker on, and I'm trying to turn before the lights turns red. So, and it's traffic, like there's a long line of people trying to turn. So of course I'm gonna wait till the light turns green again and then turn. So I didn't turn on the first light. And then when the light turns green, I turn, and I pretty much drive us back to our destination. I parked. And the lady looks at me, and she goes, unfortunately, you failed. And I looked at her like, why? I asked her, why did I fail? She goes, when we did our parallel park, you didn't, what's it called? She said, you didn't look on your left before you turned, and you almost hit the car on your left. I'm like, okay. Even though I didn't. Second thing, she said on the light, at the light where you were supposed to make a left turn, you didn't make a left turn. Why? And I told her because we were in traffic and there was slushy on the road. And I did not want to I valued my life and I didn't want to die. And she was like, okay, well, with that being said, another reason why I failed you was you were not being communicative through the entire ride. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, you were supposed to engage and react. I'm like, I looked at her like, engage and react with who? She goes, the passenger in your car. I'm like, who? She goes, me. I'm like, first of all, ma'am, I don't know you. This is no storytelling. I ain't got nothing to tell you. We're not supposed to conversating. We're not best friends. So what am I supposed to tell you? She was like, well, you still have to have that interaction with your the person in your car. And I told her, if you wanted to ask me questions, you could ask me questions while I was driving. There was no reason for me to try to have a conversation with you. But I was already vexed. Like me, and when I'm mad, I was mad. I was like, you know what? This is probably my punishment was because I lied. And number two, I wasn't ready. So whatever, failed it. Got out the car, went back to Toronto. I took driving lessons again, I think 4 more lessons, and then I went to go do my G2 again in January, and this time I did it in Brampton, which is like 20 minutes drive from Toronto, whatever. So it wasn't like such a long drive, and this time around, your girl passed. Yes, I passed. I was very, very, very excited the second time, even though the night before I got into like a little argument, and me, whenever like my mind is set to something and I have a bad day, like night, it's gonna the next day it's just gonna transform and I'm just gonna have a bad day. But I did not let that get to me. I encouraged myself, told myself, you know what, this is it, we gotta get this. I'm not paying another like $300 to do my whole lesson. And my whole driving lesson like from October till January cost me literally almost $1,200, and I was not gonna waste that money again. So I made sure like I passed that test, and I was so happy when I passed. And now I can drive and not kill anybody on the road, hopefully, and not kill myself either. But yeah, that is my story time about my driving lesson experiences, or my driving test experience. I told myself if I was ever to see that lady on the road, I'd probably crunch her, like just knock her out, because she didn't deserve to fail me. She made me spend another $400 that was not needed, because for driving instruction here, every lesson is like literally $50 per hour, which is ridiculous. And like when you go do your driving test, it's almost $250, because you're paying the ministry for using their car, you're paying for the test, and you're paying your instructor. Like, it's honestly, you know what, if it was up to me, I just wish everybody could fly like a birdie, just fly and poop everywhere, you know. But yeah, guys, that is it for this story time. If you did enjoy this story time, please give this story time a thumbs up. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out, and just in case your notification is not on, please make sure you turn your notification bell on so you can get notified every time I upload. And just in case you're not following me on any of my social media, it'll be somewhere on the screen or also in the description box below. Make a use of that. Make sure you follow me, add me, let's become best friends. And just in case you missed my previous video or any of my video, click somewhere on the screen or click the link in the description box for that, or click the link to my channel and check out all my amazing video. Like I say at the end of all my videos, thank you guys always for all the love and all the support. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.